The problem I have with dogs can be summarized quite simply as I just don't get it. The idea of a dog being any different to any other animal is a closed book to me. I just don't get it. When somebody goes on about an animal loving them, I just don't get it. None of it makes any sense to me. The culture of dog worship makes absolutely no sense to me. As many of you will know, I used to be a dog owner. Now, I can't believe that there was a time when I wanted one. When I look back, I recognize that the dog was a symbol. It was a symbol of the ideal family life. It was a symbol of happiness and comfort, a symbol of being neighborly and conforming, of fitting in. I sometimes reflect back to the time when I was a dog admirer, and I do not understand that previous me. It's as if I woke up, as if scales were lifted from my eyes, as if my brain started working again, or for the first time. Those of us who see dogs for what they really are will be well used to being told that we are crazy, or that we have something missing, or we have no soul or no heart. When they say things like that, I realize that what I have missing is a willingness to accept things without any type of proof. We get marginalized and abused for refusing to believe the impossible. We will be told that we haven't met the right dog yet, as if there is a canine soulmate out there waiting to be discovered. I just don't get any of it. Over the scores of videos that I've made, I have attempted to understand why people would so admire a very ordinary animal. Why would some of them even value the life of this creature above their own life? Why would they threaten and lie to protect the honor of an animal that has no awareness of the concept of reputation? In my attempts to understand these dilemmas, I and my viewers have used psychology, sociology, neurology, parasitology, and even parapsychology. I have run out of ologies in my attempts to understand the world of dog worshippers. No single ology provides an adequate explanation of how grown-up adult humans will embrace myths, legends, folk tales, factoids, and downright lies about an animal with such a disgusting presence and negative impact on society. Coprophagia, emetophagia, and a tendency to roll around in rotting organic matter are samples of their normal behavior. And yet people welcome these creatures into their homes and even into their own beds. I have deliberately used the $10 words coprophagia and emetophagia because I don't want to upset or offend any of the dog worshippers who come onto this channel. They have astonishingly thin skins, and not only do they take offense, they actively seek it out. Dog worshippers deliberately trawl sites like mine, fishing for anything to get indignant about, and then they spit venom and hurl abuse at people like me for daring to offend dogs. Despite being easily hurt and being quick to take offense, they are even quicker at causing offense and riding roughshod over the sensitivities of others as long as it protects their beloved, idealized, and romanticized dog species. They seem to have developed this very strange idea that dogs are entitled to feelings while humans are not. Why do they actively seek out a channel like mine? I just don't get it. One conclusion that is fairly obvious is that dog worship is, to put it politely, unscientific, but it is widespread and is usual. It is an unscientific belief system that is defended vigorously and for which people have an intense, unshakable allegiance. What I know about this belief system is what the believers themselves tell me about it. Central to the belief system is the idea that dogs are exceptional among all animals. They are special, more deserving, and more able than any other animal. The most extreme illustration of this is seen on bumper stickers that state, "My pit bull is smarter than your honor student." That could be seen as a savage indictment of the educational system as well as an assertion of canine intelligence. Dog worshippers tell us that dogs are exceptional because they love us. They are loyal, altruistic, protective, intelligent, and pure. There are other abilities claimed for dogs, but these seem to be the main ones. Some of the talents claimed for dogs are just plain silly, such as helping children to read, alleviating anxiety, or aiding the management of autism. Some of these characteristics are ill-defined or are never defined, and therefore cannot be scientifically tested. Those characteristics that have been subject to the glare of rigorous scientific scrutiny fall down like a house of cards. I have, for example, spoken about the Hungarian and English studies into dog loyalty, which both demonstrated that dogs are motivated by self-interest. Dog lovers already know that dogs are not loyal. They present lots of anecdotal evidence to support dog disloyalty. Many of them will joke about how their dogs will go with anyone who gives the dog a treat. More persuasive evidence that they actually believe dogs are disloyal is their attraction to the concept of rescue. Dogs appear to be easily rescued. By rescued, they usually mean bought by a second or third or more owner. I made a video about large numbers of dogs being rescued from California to Canada in order to empty out no-kill shelters. If dogs were intensely loyal, as worshippers suggest, then surely a successful rescue would be a rarity. Loyal dogs should pine for their old master. They should resist assimilation into the home of their new purchaser. According to the almost endless testimony of dog worshippers themselves, such dogs fit in just nicely into the home of the person who bought them. If any dog is loyal, it would appear to be the exception. I just don't get it. As I discuss this issue, I am starting to get closer to some kind of explanation as to why I don't get it. My insight comes from dog lovers themselves. They will often talk or write about how wonderful their dog is, or dogs in general are. When they write about the wonders of dogs, they can get enthusiastic about how destructive or noisy or difficult their dog is. This destructiveness is part of the charm, apparently. One of the most popular books about dogs is Marley and Me, a story of a dog that is challenging, demanding, and almost impossible to control. The book was made into a high-grossing popular film. Marley's destructiveness and difficult behavior struck a chord with dog lovers. When a dog destroys your phone earbuds, it is adorable and proof of the wonder of dogs. If a rat ate their earbuds, it would be evidence of something else. The conclusion would not be that rats are adorable and have a boisterous character. I read the opening chapter of a book by Stephen Budiansky. The book is entitled The Truth About Dogs, and the opening chapter is entitled The Irredeemable Weirdness of the Dog, an Introduction. In this opening chapter, he writes about some very difficult and demanding behaviors exhibited by dogs he owned in the past. Right up until the end of the chapter, I thought he was one of us, a dog realist. That is, until he drew the conclusion that these examples were illustrations of how wonderful dogs are and why we should love them. When I thought about Marley and Me and Steve Budiansky, and my own experience as a past dog owner, I started to form a conclusion. Dog worshippers cannot express why they love dogs. They rely on falsehoods, slogans, faulty and contradictory logic, and if they can't stifle criticism, they resort to abuse and threats. The conclusion I have reached is that dog worshippers just don't get it either. They don't know why they love dogs. They don't know why they believe what they do. When I look back to when I was a dog owner, I realized that I could never have articulated what was so wonderful about these animals, but I did think that they were wonderful. I just didn't know why. I now realize that I just didn't get it then either. The difference with me now is that I still don't get it, but I no longer want it.